Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Musician from Hits Academy, a newsletter, coaching service, podcast, and blog preparing today's musicians for tomorrow's realities. Today's episode is titled, The Value of Getting a Quick No. Thank you to Parker Mouthpieces for providing the hosting for TEM. Parker Mouthpieces offers fine, customizable component mouthpieces for horn, trombone, euphonium, and tuba, including the Andrew Hitz Artist Model Tuba Mouthpiece. You can find out more at parkermouthpieces.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Before I get to the episode, I have a fun story to tell you just how smart I am. I don't know if you can see this spot right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the spot on my lip. Here's what happened. I burned my lip. I was making Annie's shells for my son, and the timer went off on the shells in the boiling water, and I didn't have the strainer ready to go. So there was a second. I wanted to get it done quick, but I needed to test the pasta, so I took a spoonful out. These little things are like barnacles. They can like stick to the bottom of like a flat wooden spoon. I blew in it real fast, and then I tried to eat one, and it was flipped perfectly that it actually attached to my lower lip like a barnacle, and it was filled. It was small, but it was filled with scalding hot water, and I went to flick it off, and it didn't flick off, and I then had to like really flick it off. So there was basically boiling water on a very small part of my lip for like a full 2.5 seconds. And when you're a professional brass player, that sucks because I make these things vibrate for a living. It like bubbled up, and then it's like, oh God, we're on like day 5 of this now. So that's how smart the host of this podcast that you have chosen to listen to is. First, wanted to talk about the quartet of ideas from the Portfolio Career Playbook, the newsletter from TEM Coaching. Last week was issue 32, and the most clicked on link, usually it's pretty close, by far was about this article. I'm going to clean up the title so I don't have to slap an expletive title on here. It's called The Insurtification of Academic Social Media. This article is must read for anyone with any kind of business presence, even a little bit, on social media. Bottom line is social media does not work like it used to, and that is by design, and it's going to get worse. And making a plan now is probably a better idea than waiting until it gets so bad that it completely no longer works. So check it out. You can find issue 32 at tem.fm/newsletter. You can find all of them there, and you can also subscribe there. And a big thank you to all of the musicians who already have. Okay, the value of getting a quick no. The reason it's important to stop researching and actually iterate as quickly as you can is so you can possibly get a quick no. That can be in the form of rejection, meaning that the idea isn't going to work. It can also, equally as valuable, can be discovering that you don't enjoy doing the thing, and even if it works, you don't want to commit to that moving forward because life is short. So no can come in various forms, that rejection. It might be that it's the wrong idea. It might be that it is the right idea at the wrong time. It might be the right idea at the right time, but you're the wrong person. It might be that everything's right except for the messaging is not good, or it could be that you have presented it to the wrong people, and that you presented it to these other people that it would have resonated. And I will do a future TEM episode featuring some strategies to figure out which one it is from that above list, which is more of an art than a science, but there are absolutely some strategies to be able to make that work. So it's kind of a little bit of both. But you don't even need to know which one it is to receive the value of getting a no. Any no lets you know, sorry about that, any no lets you know when you should instead start working on the next important thing, or on when you need to tweak or something and try the next iteration. And obviously getting no quickly is much better than slowly, because the sooner you know you need to course correct, whether that be a complete 180 or just like a small course correction, the better. Just remember that you can only get the value of no after you've started doing something, because up until that point, it's all just hypothetical. And so you think something's going to sell. I have had some things that I was positive were going to work and that didn't. And I've had some other things where I didn't think it was going to work, and then it did. And I have pretty good intuition, I think, on this front, just because I have so many at bats, right? And yet sometimes I am completely wrong about what resonates, what doesn't. The only way to do this is to actually put the things out there. And when you do that, you can get a quick no or a quick yes, and then move forward. Okay. Today's quote is from James Clear, who I have talked about a number of times on the podcast, but it's been a while since I did, and here is a quote from him. Quote, "Being motivated and curious counts for more than being smart because it leads to action." I haven't shared a James Clear quote in a while, and this one is so good. I'm reminded of how good he is at sound bites. He's also good at long form stuff, but very quotable author and speaker. For me, motivated and curious are completely intertwined. And in general, lots of curiosity leads me to being motivated. But that's the order that things go in for me. Every Sunday night, I score myself on a number of things for the week, and one of them is learning. I assign a number between 1 and 10 on how much I learned that week. Any week where I was really productive, my learning score is always a 9 or a 10. Even though the learning itself is not an output, i.e., something to share with the world like this podcast episode. If I'm doing my job with TEM episodes, they will occasionally make you curious enough to be motivated to take action. That's how the cycle of my learning works, at least. Curiosity leads to motivation, which leads to action, and that's when I get lots of things done. Curiosity also leads me to wonder whether an idea will resonate with people. Curiosity gets me lots of ideas, and then I wonder whether a specific idea that seems to be shining brighter than the rest of them are going to resonate or is going to resonate with people. The only way to figure that out, again, not just hypothetically, but in actual reality, is to 1, finish executing the idea, and 2, share it with the world, which brings us back to the first half of the episode. Finishing the thing and sharing the thing can be the 2 aspects of the creative process which I struggle with the most, and I don't think I'm alone. Curiosity is really the magical first domino to fall that knocks all of those other ones over for me. So go be curious. Thank you to everyone who is listening to my voice right now and for the most valuable commodity you have to give, your attention. There are a lot of people that you could be listening to right now, so the fact that you're here checking out TEM really means an awful lot to me. And I also want to thank everybody who is a Patreon patron, who has left a rating and a review, etc. You really are the best, and I appreciate you very much. And that's going to do it for another episode of The Entrepreneurial Musician.